Conservative Party manifesto. They promised in their election manifesto to ban the importing of hunting trophies into the UK. However, this ban is actually set to be scrapped soon.
Yes, but with polls suggesting that 92% of Conservative supporters are in favour of the ban, why is the party not listening? Could it be, as some sources have warned, that a handful of wealthy and highly influential peers are pressuring the government to liberalise hunting so that they can go to places like Mozambique and shoot a zebra?
Yes, joining us now to try and shed more light on the situation is Eduardo Gonzalez, founder of the Campaign to Ban Trophy Hunting. Thank you for joining us this morning, Eduardo. Is this an example of money influencing politics, or are there other reasons why this is being scrapped?
Well, they say that a week is a long time in politics, don't they? And certainly a few days ago, ministers and officials were briefing journalists that, yes, this bill was going to be dropped. But this morning there seems to be a bit of a change in tune. And certainly one of the key things seems to be this poll that you mentioned, which is that's showing 92% of the Conservative Party's own voters want this ban implemented as soon as possible. In fact, just 1% disagree with the policy. And a number of Conservative MPs and Lords have been coming out very publicly saying that they want to fulfil their manifesto pledge. I mean, this is something that the public feels very, very strongly on and has done for a number of years. And it's now been 3 years since the government first made that pledge. So a lot of people are wondering, what's going on?
Yeah, look. Isn't it usually quite a good indication of whether or not you're an absolute raging psychopath if you, as an idea of sport, want to go to the Serengeti and shoot an animal?
Well, that's certainly the opinion of a lot of people. I mean, I know that when stories about trophy hunters appear in the media, journalists tell me that it's the sort of story that gets the most comments and so on, and shares and likes and so on. I mean, and a lot of people don't realise that this is something that British trophy hunters are engaged in. Often when we see these stories, it's, talking about Americans, but there are British hunters right now in Africa. They're shooting lions that have been bred in cages, in captivity and shot in enclosures. They're even shooting, endangered species like polar bears and cheetahs. In fact, British trophy hunters are amongst the worst in the world when it comes to hunting elephants. So, this is something that people are really angry about and they want the government to take action on.
Yeah, Eduardo, I mean, some of the statistics are just really shocking. More than 200,000 threatened or endangered animals are killed per year for trophies. 1.26 million trophies are imported to the US alone from 2005 to 2014. I mean, what more could be done then? Should we be naming and shaming these people? Who are these people that are engaging in practices that it seems that the majority of people in the UK find to be sickening, quite frankly?
Yeah, and I think actually one of the things that has happened is that public opinion has been growing ever stronger on this, largely as a result of a number of investigations in the media where British trophy hunters have been revealed as people who've shot lions, they've shot bears, they've shot leopards, they've shot elephants and so on. And so the more that's known about it, certainly the angrier that people seem to be. There still does seem to be a lowish level of awareness. I mean, I think people just find it plain shocking that this kind of thing happens nowadays. It's the sort of thing that people assume would have died out in the days of empire, or, the colonies and so on. So for it to be happening today, in the 21st century is something that, really does shock people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some of the counter-arguments, to be fair, some people suggest that, for example, we have factory farming meat. I mean, these are people going out and killing animals, and oftentimes they share the meat out to communities. It also provides money for tourism in areas that are often very impoverished. So there are some counter-arguments that actually argue that this could be a practice that could have positive benefits for the community where the hunting is being done. What do you say to that?
Well, I think there's two things to say. Firstly, this isn't hunting for food. This isn't for a necessity. These people are hunting animals, shooting animals for fun, for pleasure, for entertainment, and for no other reason. And I've spoken to trophy hunters, and they all say, look, we're not going out there to try to save animals or help local communities. We hunt animals because that's what we enjoy doing. And yes, it's, it is the hunting industry that comes out and says these things, but of course they have a vested interest in it, don't they? And certainly when there have been serious studies that have looked into, well, is there any benefit to trophy hunting, whether it's it's to people or communities, it's shown to be absolute nonsense. What does actually help both communities and conservation is photo safaris, because they generate a lot of money, and that money goes directly back to helping anti-poaching activities. They employ a lot more people than trophy hunting does. The people are paid much better as well. And of course, unlike hunting, it isn't seasonal. So these are jobs that are around all year round. There was a study, in fact, presented in Parliament just last year, which showed that if South Africa, for example, were to make a switch from trophy hunting to photo safaris, then 11 times as many jobs would be created for local people.
Eduardo, look, I hope you don't think I'm being too crass here, but the kind of individual who would fly out to somewhere like Africa, bear in mind as well, you can actually do it online, and this is a really sickening thing as well. I don't want to, I hope not acting as an advert for this kind of stuff, but you can go online and shoot an animal using a webcam. And they lay food out, right? So the animal comes, and I could do it right now on my laptop if I wanted to. Do you think these people are compensating for something? You know, you have to have some serious issues if, in order to feel like a big man, you go and take a rifle out and shoot a lion.
It's a really interesting question, and you're absolutely right. You can go on websites like bookyourhunt.com, where they've got, I think, 350 different species on offer. It's like shopping at Tesco's online, but this time it's for a live animal, and you can get anything, whether it's a lion or an elephant or, you know, seals. You can shoot wild cats, kangaroos, you name it. You can just order these things online, and it is quite mind-blowing. Just going back to your original question, though, there have been studies by criminologists, by psychologists, and a number of studies have shown that, you know, this is problematic. This is troubling behavior. And in fact, some studies have shown that there is a link, an apparent link, between this kind of behavior and things like domestic abuse, things like child abuse, sexual abuse, and so on and so forth. So this is this has wider social implications. I mean, you think of some of Britain's worst killers, people like Ian Brady, Ian Huntley, John Venables, who was the older of the boys that killed Jamie Bulger. They all started their criminal careers, if you want to call it that, by abusing animals. And the same has been noted in studies in the US, the Boston Strangler, the killers of the Columbine High School children, and so on and so forth. So it is something that we should be looking at as a big issue.
No, I completely agree with you. It's absolutely astonishing the amount of murderers, I suppose, who started out by doing things like killing cats or, you know, dogs or whatever, right? And torturing animals, basically. It's almost like a kind of, what's the gateway drug of nutters, isn't it, really? But anyway, thank you very much, Eduardo. Eduardo Goncalves there. Thank you very, very much. Let's speak again soon. Hopefully, we'll be talking about the banning.